What's up, guys? Welcome to Facts Not Feelings. In this series, we're going to take firearms straight out of the box and shoot them against our baseline drill. Now, if you're here for a deep dive, we're not going to get into all the specs. We'll cover them a little bit, but this is a performance-based Facts and Not Feelings review. Let's get after it. You a little cold there, Taylor?
No. How about this weather? It's great.
Brought to you by Winchester.
Hey, I am Jeff Gonzalez, and I'm here with the ever illustrious
Paul, the people's champ.
And we're here to do Facts Not Feelings. We're here to do Facts Not Feelings, not with that thing.
Yeah, what? Oh, my bad. Wrong gun.
We're here to do Facts Not Feelings with the Canik Mete SFX.
Mete, Jeff. It's a Mete.
Really? You really want to challenge that?
Go to the website. That's what it says. That's what it says.
It's what it says, or how's it pronounced?
Mete. Parentheses, Mete. We'll go ahead and throw that up on screen, because Paul's right.
Anyhow, we're here to do Facts Not Feelings on the Mete
Boom.
SFX. Which is
Boom.
pretty much what I said to begin with. Mete. Anyhow, the pistol surprised me. Let's talk specs, though. But before we do that, Paul, do you have something of importance to say?
Guess we might want to mention our sponsors like Daniel Defense, who make videos like this possible. And then the rounds that go through the Wonder Witch guns that we shoot that come from Winchester. Thank you.
That was wonderful.
I have such a great speaking voice, and I just be on camera all the time. Wait, I am on camera. Oh my goodness.
I was enamored by that. All right, let's talk about MSRP. What are we looking at for MSRP? Pretty good price.
$574. I mean, you're getting a boatload of stuff with it, right?
Yeah, we're
Look at
gonna
that.
go over all of this.
It's gonna be great. And online, poking around, I kind of saw most places on about $524 to $529.99. So
Nice. All right, so we're looking at a pretty decent, less than 600.
yeah,
Less than 600.
low fives.
All right, let's talk length, 5.2 inches, barrel length, that is. And then height is 5 1/4, 5 3/4 rather, sorry. And the weight comes in at 30 ounces. All right, so
1.88 pounds for you pound guys.
or 30 ounces for everybody else. That makes more sense too. Okay. And we have optic ready, clearly it's optic ready. And we also have a 18 and 20 round magazine. Ooh. And we have a very complex end user customization capability. So let's talk about performance, because one of the things that was pretty cool about this gun was our shooting performance.
Well, let's talk about that real quick, because people may have already watched the video Andrew did. He reviewed the SFX. But what we're doing with this series here, Facts Not Feelings, is going over the performance.
So let's talk about what that means. Baselines. So what we're doing, folks, is we run a baseline series of drills with a firearm that we consider to be kind of like our ringer, what we feel like we shoot well and we shoot consistently. We went through a series of courses of fire and we established a baseline from that. From the baseline, we compare the firearm by putting it through the same baselines. So,
Ergo, facts,
not feelings. The nice thing about this firearm was we found that it shot incredibly well, in some cases above average for you, above your baseline. For me, it was pretty damn close. Right off the bat, I was not expecting it to shoot as well as it did. Not gonna lie, it was pretty surprising.
Yeah.
And I mean that only because I haven't seen this gun in a lot of our classes before. So like I wouldn't say it's new because it's been around for a while.
Right.
But not having seen it in many classes, I didn't have any sort of observations or experience with it. So when I got a chance to shoot it, I was like, okay, let's see what happens. So I like that. One thing I will tell you that I really liked was out of the box, the trigger was pretty nice.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
We'll throw up some B-roll of the trigger. The reset on it is crazy short. It's just a good, crisp, like out of the box is a fantastic trigger.
Yeah, it really was. I mean, clearly that's going to be kind of like a huge, probably reason for our improved performance was the trigger really made for good shooting. The end user customization includes the mag well, that funneled mag well. And yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I felt like that really did help during our reloads. I feel like maybe that had something to do with some of the improvements per se. One of the things that I was somewhat disappointed with, if I had to find something that I was not happy with, is that it has this super long slide, yet there was a lot more recoil than I expected from it. I was expecting to see a little flatter.
It's strange it being a little bit front heavy. I mean, you feel it, but a little bit more recoil than you would expect from something this size.
Yeah. I mean, a 5-inch barrel, that's a pretty decent length barrel, you know. So there's a lot of metal out there, and you would think that would help tame or tamper that recoil impulse, but it really didn't. Now, it didn't really affect us as much, but like I said, I had high expectations. Ooh, this thing's going to be flat. I mean, that thing's not going to hardly move, and it did. Another complaint that I might have is I understand that it's promoting the optic ready condition, but it still comes with iron sights, and those iron sights are more of a traditional 3-dot iron sight system, and that kind of messed with me. You know, I'm accustomed to shooting 3 dots, but the rear dots are typically very tame. They're very small in nature or very unobtrusive, allowing me to really focus on that front sight. But in this case, they kind of like gave me a little, kind of like, damn it, stop looking at it. Look at the front sight post, not the dots. Stop looking at the dots, look at the post. So I had a little bit of a conundrum there.
Yeah, we both shot a little bit high, a few shots, but brought it down. You know, I think it didn't cause like us to throw shots wildly, right?
No, and I want to make sure that people understand that what it amounted to was what you said earlier, which is because we're kind of lining up all 3 of those dots, that meant that front sight post was slightly higher.
A little bit high, yeah.
And as a result, when we started pushing back at the distance where we shoot for precision, we saw our groupings go a little bit high, right? So we corrected, and in some cases that correction really helped improve our score, you know, in which case we'll talk about here. So the whole point about this is collecting metrics that we can use to objectively compare things side by side in the apple to apple, not apple to oranges scenario. And for you, and I'm really happy about this, is that we saw your shooting performance improve over your baseline.
In a blizzard, mind you. Okay, maybe not a blizzard, but it was freezing cold.
Jesus.
I don't function in the 30s. Come on now. It was 87 the day
Do you want to
before.
put like a scope that you will function well in? Like, do we want to say?
Yeah, above 50 degrees.
Above 50 degrees. So you heard that, folks. Above 50, we should expect optimal performance.
Right.
Very
exactly.
Well.
So
can't wait for
just
this one.
kind of.
It's going to be so much
It's
fun.
extra bonus
We're now going
points.
to add. We're now going to add
extra bonus.
We're going to add
points.
temperature metrics to our objective. Yeah. Okay, folks. Well, apparently Paul did not shoot well because it was below his threshold for shooting.
But I still shot it well, which means,
true.
Hey.
All right, so let's talk about what that really means. So in a sense, what we saw from you was a 1% improvement. I know that doesn't sound like a lot, folks, but actually it is. A 1% improvement over your baselines. That means the gun that you really felt the most comfortable with, you actually saw an improvement.
Right out of the box.
Right out of the box. That's pretty damn good if you ask me. I mean, that really is. You got to put that in perspective, folks. You know, that meant that the experience level that Paul had with the baseline shooting gun, he actually shot this 1% better. Now, I shot it, I saw a 3% decrease, but let's also put that in perspective. 3% decrease over my baseline, that's really not that much. That's really not. I mean, in the grand scheme of things, we saw a fluctuation of about, you know, well, 4 points between the two overall. I'm pretty happy with that.
I mean, it's a solid shooter. The fact that we can just take it right out the box, no experience with it, and yeah, like you're saying, really have performance similar to a gun I've shot several to tens of thousand rounds through, right? Like it's impressive.
Yeah, literally we shot 50 rounds. And in that 50 rounds, you saw a 1% improvement. So let's just kind of like take that one step further. What if you were to put a couple hundred, maybe 1,000 or more? I mean, that would be interesting to see. That might be another kind of like experiment to do, is pick one of these guns that we shot really well, and let's put some real trigger time on it and see if we can really make that improvement even more. Like instead of 1%, what if it jumps up to 10%?
Right.
Like now we can start actually putting some figures into this. Like, hey, if you invest, we shot 50 rounds. If you, let's just say 10 times that, and you can expect to see a 10% improvement, something along those lines. So maybe that's something to play with. One of the other things that I was really happy about when we shot this is mine was super consistent. Mine was, like all my scores were plus or minus about 8 points, which is decent.
Right.
You had a lower score on the bullseye qual the first time we did that, but that was because of the high group. Your group was high. So then you made an adjustment on the second one, and you came in and crushed it on that one. I mean, you shot like a 92% on that, which is, I think that's the highest score you've shot on that qual.
I think so.
And, minor adjustment on your aiming, and that produced. So if you had, let's just hypothetically say this, that if you had maybe done a little bit better on the first run, I mean, you could have seen that 1% even more, like maybe up to 4 or 5%. I mean, that's context. That's great. Yeah. So even with a small little snafu there, it still put out some pretty damn good performance, and I'm super pumped about that because, again, like you said, out of the box, this is, I mean, from a retail point of view, I mean, the end user is getting a pretty damn good package here, for the money. And let's talk about the summary now. Let's go into that summary and talk about, we both agree the price point for this. I gave it a 3,
and that's a 1 out of 3 rating system.
Thank
so
you.
that's I'm giving it a 3 as well. Of course, that
from
a lot of value from it. Like that's.
From a performance point of view, I also gave it a 2.5. So 2.5 out of 3, just because we shot it well.
I gave it a 3 because obviously I shot it better than my baseline. So that's
true.
There's really.
And that's what we're talking about here. Like we can objectively say, wow, I should give this a perfect score because I shot better.
Yeah.
On the features, for me, the features were, I mean, this is a feature-rich experience here. So I gave it a 2.5 only because, maybe there's room for improvement in some way, shape, or form. I don't know, but I wanted to give them an opportunity to improve even more on their score. So my overall was 8. What did you do?
8.5. So it's 2.5 on the features as well. I mean that's pretty close to a perfect score. Honestly, it's.
It really is. It really is. Now, drum roll, please.
Oh, the mystery metric. I'm going to go ahead and give that 87 degrees.
Oh no!
Because I shot it like it was 87 degrees.
Oh, hot. Want to touch the hiney?
Okay, 87 degrees. All right. Okay, fine. Fair enough. Fair enough. So, folks, again, high marks, high praise for this particular blaster during our Facts Not Feelings segments. Pretty happy about that.
Yeah.
Pretty happy. Paul, do you have anything of importance to say?
If you want to watch a full detailed review on all of the specs, features, and things about this firearm, Andrew already did that. Go through our video history or search it. You will find it. If you want to fly apparel like this from Vortex and you want it for 20% off, check down there in the doobly-doo. We got a discount code ARFCOM. Save 20% on that.
Doobly-doo.
Down in the doobly-doo, baby.
Doobly-doo.
Anything else?
Is that like
before
a whatchamacallit?
It is.
Okay, fair enough.
It's just
Is it any, but it's not like a doohickey. It's not a doohickey.
Yeah, doohickey works too.
You think so?
It's
okay,
just
all right, fair enough.
the doohickey down there.
Okay, fair enough, fair enough. All right, folks, listen, we had a great time shooting this thing. We really did. If you have questions or comments, please feel free to post them down below. Again, if you want to see us do something in this same vein, Facts Not Feelings, with regards to handgun performance, please list them down there because we're always interested in seeing what's popular, what people are looking at, what people are interested in. Definitely do that. Hey, I'm Jeff Gonzalez, and this is...
The guy wearing the Vortex apparel, you should get it. His name is Paul.
His name is Paul. All right, until then, take care and stay safe.